Welcome to the explainer. You know, in math, sometimes the answer isn't a single point on a map, but an entire territory. Today, we're going to build up your toolkit so you can navigate that territory by mastering linear and absolute value inequalities.
Let's start with something you might actually run into, making the honor roll. See, you don't need exactly a 3.5 GPA or exactly 12 credits. You need to be within a certain range. This is a classic inequality problem, and by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to translate this into the language of math.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with why this stuff even matters, learn the special language for it, cover the rules of the game, solve some problems, and then take on the absolute value challenge. Okay, so first things first. Why are we even bothering with inequalities when we have good old-fashioned equations? Well, here's the huge difference. An equation, it pins down one single fact, right? Like, my profit was exactly $500. But an inequality, it describes a whole world of possibilities. Like, my profit was somewhere between $400 and $800. It's just more like the real world, where things often fall within a range, not just on one specific point. So if we're going to be talking about these ranges all the time, how do we do it efficiently? Well, to do it like a pro, we need a special language called interval notation.
You might see other ways to write these answers, but trust me, interval notation is the gold standard, especially as you move up in math. It's just clean, it's efficient, and everybody understands it.
And the core idea here is actually super simple. You just have to ask yourself one question. Is the endpoint included in my answer? If it is, you use a hard bracket. If it's not, or if you're talking about infinity, which goes on forever, you use a soft parentheses. That's pretty much the whole deal.
And this table really shows you why it's so powerful. I mean, look at that first row. Instead of writing out a whole sentence, x is greater than or equal to 4, you just write bracket 4, comma, infinity, parenthesis. All the information you need is packed into just a few symbols. So much cleaner. Okay, now that we've got the language down, let's talk about the rules you gotta follow when you're actually solving these things. Now, the first rule is wonderfully easy. It's just like regular equations. Think of the inequality as a balanced scale. As long as you add or subtract the same weight from both sides, that balance stays perfect. No problem at all. But here it is, the big one. This is the rule that really separates inequalities from equations. If you multiply or divide by a positive number, hey, no big deal, everything stays the same. But the second you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to reverse the direction of the inequality symbol. I'm going to leave this on the screen for a moment because it is, without a doubt, the #1 place where people make mistakes. This is the golden rule of inequalities. You've got to burn this one into your brain. All right, enough theory. Let's take our new language and our golden rule and actually solve a problem. Let's put it to work. So here's our first one. The strategy is to treat it almost exactly like a regular equation, but we're keeping that golden rule in the back of our minds, just waiting to see if we'll need it. First up, let's get all of our x terms together. So I'll subtract 10x from both sides, and that gets us to 13 minus 17x is greater than or equal to -4. Okay, next, we want to get that x term all by itself. So let's subtract 13 from both sides, and that leaves us with -17x is greater than or equal to -17. Okay, get ready? And here it is, the crucial moment. To get x all by itself, we have to divide by -17. And because we're dividing by a negative number, the golden rule kicks in. We have to flip the greater than or equal to sign to a less than or equal to sign. So our final answer is x is less than or equal to 1, or in our fancy interval notation, -infinity to 1. Now, let's build on what we know and tackle a new challenge, absolute value inequalities. Now, these can seem really intimidating, but there's a simple way of thinking about them that makes it all just click. Here is the single most important mental shift for this whole topic. I want you to stop thinking about absolute value as just making something positive. Instead, from now on, I want you to think of it as distance. The absolute value of a number is just its distance from 0 on the number line. That's it. This one idea makes everything so much easier. And this idea of distance breaks all these problems into two distinct cases. If the absolute value is less than some number, you're talking about all the points that are trapped between two endpoints. It's an and situation. But if it's greater than a number, you're talking about two separate groups of points heading away from the middle. That's an or situation. This example really puts that distance idea into practice. The phrase, the distance from x to 5, is just how we write by x minus 5 in math. The rule, within a distance of 4, just means that distance has to be less than or equal to 4. And just like that, we've set up a less than problem, which we now know means we're looking for one single connected range of answers.
We have covered a lot of ground today, so let's just pause for a second and organize the key tools you've just put into your mathematical toolkit.
Okay, these 5 points are your foundation. First, know your notation. Brackets for or equal to, parentheses for everything else. Second, never, ever forget the golden rule. Flip the sign when you multiply or divide by a negative. Third, reframe absolute value in your head. It's all about distance. And finally, know if you're solving an AND case with one answer or an OR case with 2 separate answers. If you can master these, you can solve pretty much any of these problems.
You know, this skill, thinking in ranges, defining boundaries, it's incredibly powerful. So I'll just leave you with this question. From budgeting your money to planning your week, where else in your life are the best answers a range and not just a single